What's up, everybody? I'm George, and welcome to the Blade HQ warehouse. Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. I'm George, and today we're talking about some of the new knives at Blade HQ this week. We're gonna start this party with the Fobos Alaris. Now, this is a USA-made fixed blade from the brand Fobos, which is sort of a shortened version of for operators by operators. And I think these are really cool. They kind of have a kitchen knife feel to them. If you look at that, kind of like easy to cut against a table with, nice rocking cuts, but also kind of a woodsy bushcraft, and with this nice Kydex sheath, even a tactical feel. And it comes in so many different colors. I went with this black and green. It reminds me of my Razer phone, you know, with the black and green vibe, kind of gets an old Xbox vibe too. And my favorite thing about this knife, by the way, is it has two of these cutouts for bow drills, but instead of going right against the G10, it goes all the way through to the steel of the blade. And that makes it so if you're pushing down or really bearing down, you're not gonna wear a hole in your handle because there's already a hole there. This is a really awesome knife, CPM 3V steel with a nice black coating. A wonderful choice if you're into sort of a tactical outdoor feel. Next up, we're gonna go from big to very small with the QSP Penguin Mini. Now, the Penguin is a very popular knife, and they finally made a really small one, and this one's my personal favorite because you can get a 3-finger grip on it, but my preferred way is go 3 fingers there and then do a finger up here. And that way it gives you some really nice precise cutting power. So if you're like cutting something out of paper or opening a box, it comes in all the same handle materials you know and love. I got the denim micarta here, and it comes standard with 14C28N steel instead of D2, which in my opinion is an upgrade. Let me know in the comments if you prefer D2 or 14C28N and why. That's a debate that we've had around the office a little bit, and I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Next up, there's a sector of the knife market that I think we don't talk about enough, and that is the wood carvers. And Flexcut is the name of the game in that line. And they just released the Carvin Jack 2.0. And this thing has a bunch of different knives. It's got your kind of classic normal carving knife, but then it also has this groove cutting knife, and it has 2 different spoon cutting knives, and it even has a gouge. A lot of the right tools for all your cutting needs, and all of them are absolutely razor sharp. Now, I know what you're thinking. My goodness, would it be hard to sharpen a spoon knife? And having tried it a few times, you're not wrong. But they have you covered. They have this nice strop right here that has all these different things with this wood. And what you do is you take this stropping compound and you can rub it into the wood, and then each of the grooves in there corresponds to one of the tools. So say I have this little hook knife here, I just come, strop it right there. Find whatever of these grooves fits the tool I'm using, and I can strop it against that with this compound, and it'll put a nice edge right back on it. Next up, we have a new brand called PNW Bushcraft, made in Oregon. And I actually met the people who run this at Blade Show West. Some of the coolest people out there, and they specialize in waxed canvas. Now, this is my personal favorite product they have, which is sort of this dump pouch. You put it on your belt, and that way, if you're out with your 22 hunting squirrels, or you're looking for morels, or whatever takes you out into the woods that you're looking for, you can just unroll this thing, put it on your belt, and just stuff all your stuff in it. Or if you're sitting around camp and you're downing an entire bag of Twix because no one's there to judge you, keep the wrappers here. Keep the woods clean, everybody. Or they have these EDC trays. So it's like a wallet pocket organizer. Keep your flashlight, your pen, maybe some cards and cash. But then when you're all in camp or something, you don't want to get your knife all dirty and stuff. You just come and snap all these corners together. And once they're all together, you can put the whole thing down and then just throw all your stuff in there and keep it safe from whatever. Would recommend, a really great product. Next up, we're gonna take it traditional. This is the Frost Cutlery and Silverhorse Stoneworks Stockman. And I picked this because look at all the file work on the spine, on these bolsters, on the back springs, and then these turquoise inlays. This thing is an artsy knife. And for the price, I think it's hard to get more gentlemanly than this. Got those 3 blades, and look, there's even file work in the nail nicks. Look at this. That's just incredible. So much attention to detail went into this thing. It's just a really great piece. And we don't see Frost Cutlery a lot. And I really wish we did, and this is the first Frost Cutlery I've seen in a very long time, and I just had to bring it on because it's a brand that does not get enough love. Next up, we have the brand new Divo Knives Stout. And I picked this one because I like the black blade and this aluminum foil carbon fiber handle. Really a cool knife, a different design, but I'm learning that I like a sheep's foot sometimes. They're really great for cutting against a table, and I find that's the thing I'm doing the most. I'm either cooking or opening boxes, and that's where that point really comes in handy. A really cool knife, titanium frame lock with the bolster kind of extending, so make sure you don't bend your lock too far out. It's also got a wire pocket clip. Usually when you see titanium frame locks, you'll see a milled titanium pocket clip, and those are super cool, but some people don't like them, they chew up their pockets. Some people just prefer the wire pocket clip. It's a little less offensive, it looks like a pen. So if you're looking for a really nice titanium frame lock with a great blade steel and an iconic design, but a wire pocket clip, look no further than the Divo Stout. These are on BladeHQ.com right now. Go get them before they're gone. Next up, we have what I think might be the gift of the season for somebody just getting into knives, and that is the Gerber Paraframe and Suspension NXT Combo Pack. So the Paraframe might be the most popular first knife of all. It's inexpensive, it's well built, it has a nice comfortable design, fits right in the pocket, nothing to complain about. And the Suspension NXT is one of the most popular multi-tools for a lot of the same reasons. Got a lot of nice tools, but my favorite thing is look how meaty this Phillips head driver is. Sometimes I feel like multi-tools will skimp on the size of their drivers. This one, no sir. You can torque on this thing all day long. And lastly, of course, you got those pliers and a nice stiff handle that makes it so you can really bite down on stuff. A wonderful multi-tool and a wonderful knife, all for a really wonderful price in one consistent package that matches. This is a great gift for somebody who's just getting into knives or desperately needs one. The guy who's been asking you for a knife all year long, and he's just like, why don't you have a knife? Get that man this knife and this multi-tool, and he will thank you forever. And you'll also set him on a long journey of knives, multi-tools, and other fun everyday carry gear. And last on the table comes the OreMake Sheepdog. Now, OreMake, you never heard of them? I'll tell you why. It's made by Olight. I'm telling you, if you are not familiar with Olight, they originally made flashlights, but now they make knives, they make hammocks, they make pens, they make everything. They are coming in fast. If you want to see some really rad, innovative stuff coming from a company that doesn't really make knives, Olight's the one to look at. And this one's the OreMake Sheepdog. And you're saying, well, hey, that looks a lot like the Kaiser Sheepdog. And you have a sharp eye because this is designed by Chris Conway, who designed the Kaiser Sheepdog. But this one, I mean, I have a Sheepdog XL and occasionally use it in the kitchen because it kind of gives you a really nice, meaty push through. But this one has a lot of those same design features, but it's a true kitchen knife. It's got a thinner blade. It's got this lovely AUS 10A steel. Now, if you haven't heard of AUS 10A steel, I think of it kind of like a brother to VG10. A nice, tough, corrosion-resistant blade steel that really excels in a kitchen knife. And then it has this Damascus cladding, of course, to give it that lovely, iconic kitchen knife look. And then, of course, the Chris Conway notch here and a cleavery blade style that I think almost works Nakiri or Santoku-like. A really wonderful kitchen knife. And it comes with a sheath. My biggest pet peeve with kitchen knives is you get a kitchen knife and they're like, put it in a block or put it in a thing. But what if I'm going somewhere? What if I'm going camping or if I'm going to someone else's house and they have pathetically dull kitchen knife? I want to bring my own knife. I don't want to wrap it in a cloth. I want a sheath for it. And I can't just carry a giant walnut block around. And this one has you covered. You just slide the knife in and then you take this peg, goes right through the sheath, and there you go. Not going anywhere. Perfectly safe to transport with, but still hair-popping sharp and really ready to go to work. That's a lot of knives, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the journey. Next, we have a quick word from our sponsor.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, everyone! Blade HQ right now is engraving knives for only $9.99. Make your knife so special, it's a magical Christmas for everyone. If you want your knife engraved, head to BladeHQ.com and add engraving to your knife for only $9.99 from now until the end of the holiday season 2022. Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas!
So it's been a really exciting week. Check out all these knives and more at BladeHQ.com. Give me a minute. Hey.
Hey, my name's Jared. I'm selling these knives. I just made some. I'm going door to door. See if anybody would like to buy them. You have any interested in knives at all?
I think some people on YouTube might be. You want to check it out?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
So I found this guy outside. Good to have you, Jared.
Yeah, good to be here, George.
So Jared, you've got some new stuff coming out, and as far as I'm aware, these are production knives.
Yeah, they are.
So tell us about them.
So these are actually my first production knife since my collaboration with Benchmade. This model is a kickstop model. It's called the F22. So this is the design I designed in 2020, kind of in the middle of the coronavirus, and the name has some significance. You can look it up. Mm-hmm. But this was originally a slip joint, and we decided to make it bigger and add the kickstop, make it a flipper. And so it has a lot of great features that you expect from a lot of nice flippers.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know what a kickstop is a special kind of flipper invented by Lee Williams, right?
Right.
And so watch the flipper. Normally it comes out and it's a guard, but it vanishes and it stays here. You can see the jimping on where it was. And then when you close the knife, the flipper comes back out. It's one of the coolest things. And I think it's awesome that you brought it to this knife.
I wish I'd invented it. Lee. No,
beat
this
you
is
to it.
this is a great mechanism. It functions wonderfully, and I'm just happy to be able to collaborate with it on this project.
Yeah. So I'm looking at these and it looks like they have titanium liners.
They do. These all have titanium liners. They're either going to be blasted or PVD coated. They also have titanium hardware, which includes the screws, a small pivot collar, and a shield inlay that I've designed for this knife as well. And all the backspacers are also titanium.
Yeah, and I love the contour that's on these handle scales. And probably my favorite feature of the knife is this lock bar insert.
Yeah, normally on liner locks you don't see a lock bar insert, but Riot creates this little pocket so they can still put that hardened steel insert in there, which just makes a great contact point on the lock.
No more lock stick.
Yeah, no more lock stick and no more lock wear. It's pretty durable.
Man. So my favorite thing about Gerber Oeser designs is all like they're so simple, yet they're still yours, and all the little details are covered. So you make sure that all the inlays are just perfectly made in there. You make sure the backspacer is flush, and your slip joints especially. My goodness. But even though this one's a production knife made by Riot, it definitely has the Oeser DNA on it. It has a lot of attention to detail, and it's a really nice knife.
Yeah, the main purpose for this knife, and in doing this, and I know a lot of other knife makers do this, is to have something that has my design and my features, but maybe doesn't have the price tag my customs do.
Yeah.
A little more attainable and a little more easy to use too. So that's what I'm hoping with this knife.
What's the steel on these?
Steel on these is M390. I know that they're not marked, but I believe that is the steel still. So,
Oh, it's a great steel.
a really good steel, a nice functioning steel, easy to sharpen, holds an edge well, and very tough.
Okay. What are these going to retail for?
These will retail for, I believe that they're going to retail right around $375. I think price varies a little bit on whether it's carbon fiber. There's a titanium handle version. There are micarta versions, so it's going to depend on some of the options.
Okay. But it's definitely a premium folder.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than your standard production folder, but I think that everything's worth
That
it.
applies to the design too. It's a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more. And just the kickstop feature, if you're not familiar with it, it's just a really cool feature to have. And that is just another part of the premium.
Well, these are very exciting knives, Jared. I'm excited to see what happens with them.
Thank you.
Thanks
I
for
appreciate
coming
it, George. Thanks for having me.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Those are the new knives for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, we'll answer them. And we'll see you guys on the next one.